Hello, everybody. It is Terrific Tuesday. Who's joining us here tonight live? Jennifer back to first. Hurricane off to the other side of the Gulf. Kristen is with us there second. Hey there. Kitty in third. Good to have you all here. How you guys doing on Terrific Tuesday? Terrific Tuesday. TT! Let's do it, people. Tell me what is making your Tuesday terrific. I want to know. Tell me about it. Creda's with us. Dennis is saying howdy. Hope you are all hunkered down there in Houston, Dennis. Hopefully the hurricane decides to do something different. Hey, Adele and Dazzle. Michelle, good to have you with us tonight. Love that picture of your senior. Tuesday is terrific for sales. Yes, it was a good sales day. Decent sales day anyways. I'll go with terrific. I'll move it up to terrific. Hello, Kim. Loved your video showing all your hurricane prep, Kim. You know, I did love all that experience there that you shared with everybody. There was a lot to learn there in that you shared. Lots of lessons there. So, hey, Kelly, happy Terrific Tuesday. Hey, Ann is with us. Good to have you on tonight, Ann. Kelly's got new shoppers. New shoppers are the best shoppers. Love when people find you first. Because of our LTV, lifetime value, people. Get them in once and they come back again and again. I love seeing that. We see that online, too. We see our every week shoppers online. We've gained a lot of remote shoppers during the pandemic, and are continuing to shop. We got a big order from one yesterday to ship out. Hey, yeah, Kim, you are a pro. I mean, you watch that video. You only have to watch a small portion of that video that you did to know that you are a pro in storm prep planning. You can give a workshop at next year's conference on it. You've got the video backup and everything on what to do to protect property. And because that also, the other side of this, Kim, is not only were you able to prep your store to do that quickly, I mean, your store is all set up to go up. Okay, I mean, yeah, I really felt like it was almost like a Inspector Gadget thing. I could hit a button or George Jetson, and it was just everything's gonna raise up. You know, you really did that well. But it's also then set to come down, so you can be back in business faster than a lot of other stores. You can be back up and going much faster. So. Great lessons in your video. I can't, if anybody's looking for storm prep, make sure you check out Kim's video because it truly is a great lesson. One we all wish we didn't have to know about, but, things happen. Anywhere, anytime now. It can happen, so. What else are we grateful for this terrific Tuesday? Tell me about it. I am so pumped on things. We got a week left in this month, people. 1 week left in August to make it, to end August on a bang. So that's exciting. There's still plenty of runway in here in August to make it great. And I know you can do it. If anybody can do it, you can. Hey, Heidi in Iowa, talk about storm surviving the storm. You're awesome, Heidi. I hope you are doing well. I hope everyone around you is well. And I hope your town is coming back together. I hope Cedar Rapids is truly coming back together and getting back to some semblance of normal. I do. Let's see what we got here. I like this. This is one I don't think we've read before. We start the program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we get this program started every night. Tonight we are starting, if you're following along in the book, on page 20. Page 20. You are good morning. Good morning. You are so loved, and we like having you around. It ties one sentence and ties one end of this sentence to your heart, the other end to everyone who loves you, even the ones who haven't heard from a while. Checks knots. There. Stay put, you. There's our good morning today. And you know what? Hey, Michelle. I like that. You know, but Kim, think about that. It's more than that. That is storm prep. Your store is comfort for them. Yes, it was shopping and things, and I'm grateful that they spent money in your store. But you got to remember, your store is community, and your store is comfort, and it brings them safety and comfort. That is why they were there as part of their hurricane prep. Okay, to know that you were safe, to know that they were safe in your store, to know that you were prepped, okay, and will be for them after the storm has passed. These are such important things to know how we connect with our communities. It's truly huge, and it's awesome that they came in to give your store a hug with their wallets. I'm very thankful for that. Heidi, I know it's been a long 2 weeks. I did talk to you during it, but I'm glad that you're starting to get back to some semblance of normal. I know you are just by being able to join here, and I know how important it was that you were there for so many. You know, as I talked to you that one night when you had a house full coming because you're the house with power. It is great how we all rise during these times and all come together. So this is truly wonderful. And as Jerry taught us last week, it's a good week to have a good week. It is a good week to have a good week. And we are going to have a good week, people. So let's get to it. Let's see what I got going for you today. I got a few bits and pieces of information here on Terrific Tuesday. Come back to that one. 3M and Amazon have obtained a judgment in e-commerce in the e-commerce fraud case. Crime didn't pay for a group of defendants who sold counterfeit 3M N95 respirators on 3M. The defendants KM Brothers, KMJ Trading, Supreme Sunrise, and Mauyu, and third-party Zehuji USA have been issued a permanent injunction against committing fraudulent activity as alleged by 3M. They charged unsuspecting customers more than $350,000 when they were listing false listings claiming to sell authentic N95 respirators while actually selling damaged and fake goods at highly inflated prices. The resolution with these defendants also requires payment to 3M for donation to a COVID-19 related charity. And 3M plans further litigation against those who supplied the purported N95s to the defendants. They expect to recover about $192,000 in the initial settlement. CVS is getting into taking on, we talked last night about Kroger taking on Amazon and Walmart. CVS is taking them on tonight with the retail digital ad market. Again, this is partly fueled by the CPG companies that have gained another retail partner in their efforts to reach consumers with digital ads. The new platform that CVS is rolling out is enabling CPG supplier partners to efficiently reach existing and potential customers to their advertisers, and participating brands have access to a 360-degree suite of on-site and off-site channels spanning consumers' path to purchase from in-store advertising and banners on CVS.com to programmatic display, online video, social media, and search engines. CVS estimates, so this is one of the interesting stats in this, CVS estimates that 76% of the U.S. population lives within 5 miles of one of its brick-and-mortar stores. So that is why everybody wants to get in on it. And so CVS is smart for that. Weekly online apparel sales surged 66%. Consumers have become increasingly more comfortable with making apparel purchases online, according to data from Quantum, which found that online apparel sales rose 66% for the week August 9th to 15th versus the same week last year. The data also showed that the average weekly conversion rate for online apparel sales is running 11% higher than the same week last year. And the average weekly order growth rate is 20% higher compared to the year ago period. What this doesn't show is what they're going to have for clothing returns from all the online purchases. So I wouldn't take all that to the bank with all those online purchases, but it is something that is happening, and it is going on out there. So something to be aware of. Hang on a second here. I got a couple different things going on here. I didn't have time to organize my pile today. As shopping picks up during the pandemic, the gap widens between retail's haves and have-nots. Consumers with extra money in their pockets skipped the mall and shopped at big box retailers instead. About halfway through their fiscal year, mall-based retailers have seen their earnings plunge 256%. Combined earnings of off-mall companies such as Home Depot and Walmart have declined 0.6%, so just over 0.5%. Big box retailers also benefited from being able to keep stores open during the lockdowns, having a huge merchandise assortment that made them one-stop shops for pandemic-related trends like DIY projects. On the other hand, many apparel and department stores have been hobbled further. Hang on a second, I'm looking for the quote in here that I liked. Hang on, give me 1 second. Where is it? Hang on 1 second. The biggest thing they talk about in here, one of the biggest things, is how stores that were able to use, companies that were able to use stores as fulfillment centers, versus just counting on their warehouses to ship, like Target was a big winner in that. Best Buy as well. Although they're getting dinged from the shipping companies if they ship from there. But company executives acknowledged that some of those factors that made them winners is going to fade. Walmart said it's, without another stimulus check, they don't see TV sales and such picking back up. There was one other key metric in this that I wanted to talk about. Oh, hang on. Here it is. Here's the part that I wanted to talk about. Billions in sales is up for grabs. Billions. Billions in sales is up for grabs. And why? And who is saying that? Kohl's chief executive, Michelle Gass, said she sees billions of dollars in market share up for grabs due to this distress the pandemic has inflicted on some of its peers. With all the stores closing and the changing landscape of the mall store, department store, and everything else, it's leaving billions of dollars on the table of spending that people will spend someplace else. Okay? So where will people spend it? Will they spend it in our stores? Will they spend it in the Kohl's? It is up for grabs. Julie, they could be spending it at Repeat Street. Billions buys a lot at Repeat Street. Okay? You can spend billions and save millions at Repeat Street. But that is up for grabs, and that is a key thing that is true. I mean, as these stores permanently close, there is that. And there's also what it's doing to retail rents. Retail rents are dropping, so keep that in mind as we shift and adjust the marketplace. So that is something to be aware of. LVMH and Tiffany are pushing back their deal deadline by 3 months, which is good that the deal is not dead, because there was talk that the deal would die because of the pandemic. The deal was set to close yesterday, but under the deal terms, they've moved it out as far as basically Thanksgiving. And Tiffany is exercising the option to apply November 24th as the ultimate deadline, according to sources. But it still requires approval from the European Union, which most people haven't done a lot of work on with the pandemic. But in really cool news, Tiffany is going to top off its flagship Fifth Avenue store with a glass-encased rooftop. Okay, I mean, said it will completely reimagine the upper 3 floors of its 80-year-old 10-story flagship, transforming them from office space into an exhibition, event, and clienteling venue supported by an expansive glass curtain. The transformed space will complement the classic limestone facade below and echo the height and grandeur of the flagship's iconic 8,400 square feet main floor with its coffered 24-foot ceiling. And an outdoor terrace will be located on the 8th floor. This is part of a larger transformation of the Tiffany flagship, which began in spring 2019 and is expected to be completed by the spring of 2022. The artist rendering of it, I gotta say, is pretty cool. That is certainly something to see on Fifth Avenue. In general, what I'm seeing nationwide, Julie, is a 10 to 15% drop in rents. Okay, I am seeing nationwide a 10 to 15% drop in rents. To keep tenants stable. Okay, they're giving other benefits, like I think, they're giving months free. They're doing other things to keep tenants and keep good tenants in. But I'm seeing nationwide a pretty, anywhere from a 10 to 15% drop in rent. All over the place. And landlords going above and beyond to keep good tenants in their spaces and work with them. So If your landlord's not, and I think yours was, was coming around to everything, they should be. Hey, Alexa, great to have you with us. Apple is finally reopening some stores that were shuttered twice by COVID-19. Apple is planning to restart reopening U.S. stores that have been closed over this past several weeks due to the COVID spikes. As soon as the end of August, they're beginning to open stores. They reclosed 120 of them. They'll do temperature checks and require mask checks for both employees and customers. But it's pivotal to their, hang on a second, to the holiday season. And to they have a planned launch of new iPhones, iPads, and Apple Watches in the coming months for the holiday season. So they want to get the stores open for that. Yeah, isn't the pictures of the Tiffany is really, I mean, me showing it here, the printout of it doesn't do it justice. Amazon Go's cashierless technology is planned to roll out at many Whole Foods next year to make the Whole Foods shopping experience faster and with less people. Less employees. So we'll see how that rolls out and in what states that's truly allowed to roll out, because there's a lot of states that require things that require allowing for cash sales. So that is something to keep in mind. While the malls are losing, hedge funds are making hundreds of millions of dollars on them. The hedge funds have made hundreds of millions of dollars during the pandemic shorting mall stocks during the pandemic, like the movie The Big Short from 2015, which tells the story of how hedge funds made heaps of cash off the mortgage crisis of 2008. If a sequel were made this year, it would focus on the financial effects of the flu pandemic. It would be called The Big Mall Shorts. Terry, make sure you read my September article in an arts newsletter coming out next week about the holidays. But the short answer to your statement is advance everything, and don't take anything for granted. Don't take for granted a great sales day. Don't think that because you have a great August, you will have a great November. There isn't that kind of thing. You need to build your rainy day fund up when you have good days, and there will be good days. If you haven't had some, there will be good days, but the holidays will not be what it is. So advance everything. Advance when you're taking things. Advance when you're putting things out. I've talked about it on here how we rapidly advanced Halloween in our world, and we do a lot of Halloween. And so advance everything. Everything should move forward and rapidly, because you don't know what November, December, and if November and December are great, then you don't know what January is going to be. There's just not a normal cycle right now. Until people get back to their own normal work life, there's not going to be a normal cycle. But The Big Short, one hedge fund, Apollo Global Management, made more than $100 million shorting mall-backed mortgages and securities and stuff. So there's been a whole bunch of this going on. Winners and losers, people. Winners and losers. This is interesting because of why it is. So another Wall Street bear, so Citigroup had been more bearish on the markets on the S&P 500 target, but they raised their year-end target for the S&P 500 index to 3,300 from 2,900. And they did it, okay, not because of anything in particular that's happening with the companies in the S&P 500, Um, exactly, Julie. Put out Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all of it now. I agree with you. S&P 500 to 3,300, but they did it not because of anything of any one member stock or group of stocks in the S&P 500. They did it. They agree that the markets should rise because of unbridled Federal Reserve easing, negative real rates, and the breach of technical resistance levels. Okay, and you know, most people are looking at the S&P 500 to be around 3,200. So, you know, we'll see where the end is. There's a lot of uncertainty. I'm not suggesting play the market, but there's a lot of good things out there. There's some good things going on in the world too. So, you know, as much stress as a day-to-day can be, or the hour-to-hour, there's some good stuff happening, and the long term is good. Nike, our friends at Nike, this is very interesting. This is very interesting, and I don't know if you've heard the recent Skechers ads, but they're like going after Nike big time. But Nike is shutting down 9 wholesale accounts in a shift to direct-to-consumer. Nike is closing 9 of its wholesale accounts. Well, who are they closing? City Blue, VIM, EBL, EB Lens, Belk, Dillard's, Fred Meyer, Bob's Stores, Boscov's, and Zappos. That's a lot of people that Nike is shutting out of their product in an effort to go direct to consumer. And they have a bold vision to create the marketplace of the future, one closely aligned with what consumers want and need. And so they're doubling down on their approach with Nike Digital and our own branded stores, as well as a smaller number of strategic partners who share our vision to create a consistent, connected, and modern shopping experience. That is very interesting. We'll have to see how this all plays out, especially in this year and as we head into the holiday season. Yes, they do want. People want hope. People want things to look forward to. And, you know, so that's why they're buying up Christmas. They're buying up Halloween. They're buying up Thanksgiving. They want things to look forward to. Absolutely right, Julie. You have said it well. All right, here. Got a couple more things for you guys, and then I'll get you back to your terrific Tuesday. The U.S. Department of Labor, our friends at the U.S. Department of Labor, have issued guidance to clarify employers' obligations to track teleworkers' compensable hours. With telework arrangements expanding in response to the pandemic, the U.S. Department of Labor Wage and Hour Division issued Field Assistance Bulletin 2020-5 to clarify an employer's obligation to track the number of hours work performed by employees who are teleworking or otherwise working away from premises controlled by the employers. Because their last bulletin, okay, regarding telework and remote work arrangements, their rules for this haven't been updated since. Any guesses when the last time the Department of Labor updated their telework actual rules? Pick a year. Pick a year. Any guesses? I got no guesses coming up. I'll take a sip of my martini while you guess. Give me a year. I was even surprised by this. My peanut Terry guessed 2000. 1990 from Kitty. 1989. 2015. 2000. Marianne snuck in here. Julie went with 2000. The Illinois people are sticking together here. My peanut gallery was closest when they said 1956. It was last updated. Their last full rules update was in 1961. 1961. So obviously this is to track and deal with teleworkers, which most of us do not have. But it just goes back to, simple wage and hour things. If people are working, they need to get paid. One of the interesting things is it doesn't require employers, it does put some of the burden on employees. It puts, so two key factors here. The burden on the employer is to have a simple, manageable way for employees to report their time worked. Okay, so it does put that burden on the employer. But it puts the rest of the burden on the employees to actually do that and report their time. Okay. Well, there were phones in 1961. How much work got done, Kelly, is a whole nother story. And I thought I was advanced by telecommuting in the early 90s when I did it. And that was dial-up modem. So they put the burden on the employer to have a method of reporting, a simple method of reporting. They put the burden on the employee, okay, to actually report their hours, okay? And the other burden on the employer is that they can't discourage employees from reporting actual hours worked or encourage employees to work off the books. And they specifically do not hold employers liable for actually using technology in such a way to say, oh, well, I can see that they checked email. So even if the employer would have a way of checking phone records and email records to say that they sent an email, that burden is not on the employer. It is on the employee to report that they worked. So part of that is actually good, especially for those of us that have people that may respond to Facebook during the night or customer emails or things during the night, that the burden is on the employee as long as we give a method for employees to report their hours. That is actually a good thing, that the burden doesn't rest on the employer. So I liked that. So that was an important thing in that rule. I didn't bother posting the entire rule because it's a lot of stuff that doesn't. But think about how your employees respond to Facebook or online questions during their off hours and stuff, and what method you give them to report their time spent on that. It's important that you have a method for that. Yeah, that you don't, Krita. You don't know that. I mean, you can have other technology in place, some to check that, but that burden is on the employee for some truthfulness there. You could then, in theory, sue the employee for false record keeping should they be reporting hours that they didn't actually work and you had technology to report it. But in our world, mostly, I want you to think about the employees that you have answering emails, Facebook questions, or other online things during their off time. Even questions from employees at the store. So if you have a manager doing that, just keep that in the back of your mind, what the burden is on the employer, okay, and how you compensate them for that. That's the important part. So, and lastly tonight, in cool other news, our friends at Canva have, for those of you that do not use the Pro plan, I think it's called the Pro plan, yes, Pro plan with Canva, for $10 a month, they really upped what they include in it. And so I wanted to talk about that just a bit. Now you can go ahead and update your social media with their new content planner. Not only can you create amazing social media designs with Canva, but you can now schedule and share to your social media in just a few clicks. You can plan out your posts weeks, months, or even years in advance. Just plenty of easy ways to keep your audience engaged. And right now you can post from Canva to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and many more. Instagram is coming soon. But that's all part of their $10 plan now. In addition to all the advanced editing and saving tools, and I'm not very graphically inclined, but my peanut gallery said this is really awesome. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you so that you knew that. Certainly worth giving it a try. Hey, Joanne, great to have you here. Kelly, my short answer with that is, and I don't use it personally, my people do, is that it's really easy to create compelling graphics and design. And the paid version you get to do other things with. What else do you get to do with the paid version?
The paid version lets you have access to a lot of premium graphics, which are really awesome.
Okay, you get, Kelly, you get premium graphics with the paid version and that are really awesome.
And I think a couple other things.
And a few other features.
There are more templates to use, I know that.
And there's more templates to use.
In general, Canva is just a really easy program to use for graphics if you don't know anything about graphic design. They have all the templates made for you. You can search by season, occasion, and there's like a bunch of pictures you can swap in, colors you can use, and it's like just drag and drop making graphics, and they look awesome on the internet. You probably see them a bunch.
See, it's stuff that makes me look awesome on the internet. It's not just, you know, I don't just get out of bed this way. Canva makes me look awesome. And Julie's going to help you with it, Kelly, so you're in good hands there because Julie Jankowicz is amazing. So that's awesome and definitely worth the paid version. We've had the paid version for a long time, but even more reasons to have it now. So there you go.
Definitely try the free version if you're unsure.
But free version is something you can try, but you get all these extra features with the paid. For everything, for signs, for online, for your emails, for everything. Graphics, for anything you would want a graphic for, Kelly, you've got it for. To tell your husband to make dinner, you could make a graphic for that.
The templates are pre-sized to whatever pixel size you need, especially on like Facebook and Instagram.
And, Kelly, they're all the graphics are pre-sized for the right thing. Like if you were using it on Facebook or Instagram or such, they're all appropriately sized so you don't have to be a graphic genius. This is what I'm learning here with you. I'm learning it right here, right now. Okay? But there you go, folks. You know what? It is super easy too. All these videos, everything we talk about every night, it goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day, including all the resources I talk about. Everything, right there, narts.org/resalestrong. It keeps it all organized for you to make your life easy, okay? And it makes it easy for you to share because we want you to share it with everybody that you know in business. The liquor store next to Michelle, for example, would be perfect. We want to help him. We want to make sure he gets to the other side of this. There you go. See all the reasons Julie's using it. But we're going to get everybody to the other side. I'm here at more 8 than ish every night. More 8 than ish Eastern every night, live in the Narts Facebook group. That's so you can ask things live. You can get all the answers to your questions, and I can bring you up to date on the latest things that are happening in the world. Lots of good stuff coming our way here in the next couple of weeks. Lots and lots of good. If you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start the program every night, with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we get our story started every night. Tonight we're on page 20, if you're following along. You're so loved, and we like having you around. Ties one end of this sentence to your heart, the other end to everyone who loves you, even the ones who haven't heard from in a while. Checks knots. There, stay put, you. Our good night tonight is good night. You are so loved, and we like having you around. Ties one end of this sentence to your heart, the other end to everyone who loves you in this life, even if clouds obscure your view. Checks the knots. There, stay put, you. Tug if you need anything. Look at that graphic. Everybody connected. That is what we are, people. We are all connected. Yes, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. Somebody's birthday party. There's got to be one of those coming up soon. Whatever it is, we'll be able to party in person before you know it again. Yes, we will. Until then, know that I'll be back here tomorrow night at more 8 then-ish Eastern. And until then, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes, you, even the people that are worried they're facing a hurricane tonight, you're with us too. You are not alone running this store. It's time for dessert, everybody. Have a great night.